Hey there, Joseph Spada here. I wanted to give you 4 ways to differentiate yourself from your competition. And at the end of this video, I also have 2 very powerful ways to help you discover your secret sauce. A lot of people aren't clear about what is it that makes them unique, different, what their secret sauce is in their business. And I can't blame you. I've gone through a lot of that myself personally. Sometimes it's harder to have enough self-perspective so that way you can really look at yourself and your business objectively to really clarify what those things are. So this is going to help you. Stick with me. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, the first question might be this: why do you need to differentiate yourself? What does that mean, and why is this so important? It's very important because we are in a very crowded marketplace. There are literally hundreds of providers in your own neighborhood within a few miles, most likely, depending on where you live. The reason you want to stand out from your competition and from the other providers is to help your conversion rate. Conversion rate is when you get traffic to your house, but people buy or don't buy. That's your conversion rate. It's your ability to turn a visitor into a customer. Okay? A lot of homes have very difficult time doing that. There was a post recently from this one placement agent who had taken a family member to see quite a few adult family home providers, and she said a lot of them don't know how to speak about what makes them unique and different. And that, believe it or not, it makes the prospect's job very difficult. It makes it very hard for them to decide who to pick, right? So if you want to increase chances that you will be picked when they are around shopping, that they will see you as the best option for their particular need, then you want to differentiate yourself, and that's going to help your conversion rate. Let me ask you this before we go any further. Do you offer pericare? Do you offer medication assistance? What about dressing and toileting and transfers, right? What about 3 meals a day? What about loving care? Now, I know that sounds silly that I'm asking this such basic question. Yes, of course you do. So I don't mean to be rhetorical, but it's really important because you have to realize that when consumers are shopping, ask yourself how they see you, right? And here's the challenge. Let me explain that. Adult family home, number 1. So they stop. Very nice home, nice provider. They have all the qualifications, and they offer bathing, and they offer medication assistance, and they offer 3 meals, and they have an RN on call, and they offer loving care, etc., etc., etc. But here comes the problem. They go to adult family home number 2, and what is it? Well, the exact same thing. Then they go to adult family home number 3, and what do they get? The exact same thing. Now, yes, there will be some small variations within that, but you have to remember that overall, for a lay person who does not know anything about long-term care, it's very easy for all the providers to look just about the same in their view. And again, that makes it very, very difficult for you to stand out. And it makes it very difficult to basically have your prospective customers say, wow, I need to go with you. So here are the 4 ways. Let's start with number 1, your personal story. Now, I know many of my students originally, or initially I should say, don't really understand why you should tell your personal story. And the common belief is, who cares about me? Who cares about my story? I don't want to bore people, etc., etc. And, yes, you would be right. Nobody likes to be around someone who just talks about themselves on and on and on. And most people do that. And that gets very annoying. However, when you learn to share the relevant part of your personal story, the part that directly relates to your ability to be the solution for the person who's coming to see your home, that is the most powerful way to differentiate yourself from the competition. You see, you are the only person in the entire world out of 7 billion people who has your own unique combination of perspective, insight, skills, personality, etc. Right? So that right away makes you stand out from the crowd because people get you. You understand what I'm saying? Very, very important to use your personal story. Now, again, you have to use the relevant part of your personal story, which is the part that relates to the folks that are coming to see you. Now, let me give you an example. One of my students came over when she was young from the Philippines. She was sent here to stay with family members, relatives, that she didn't really know, and she was young. So what happened to her is that she was very sad, very depressed. All she wanted to do was go home. And she told me that she had gotten a cell phone and she was running up the bill to the tune of $700 a month because she kept on calling her mom back home in the Philippines saying, "Mom, I don't understand why I'm here. I don't want to stay here. This is all so foreign and strange. I don't like it. This is not home. I want to go back home with you." And the mom, as hard as it was, knew better and said, "No, you can't. There is no future for you in the Philippines. I want you to stay in America. This is what's best for you. I know it's tough, but that's what's best for you." But she couldn't see why that was relevant to her business as an adult family home provider. Well, as she shared with the class, here is the feedback I gave her back. "Do you care for people with dementia?" "Yes, I do." "What is their biggest challenge?" "Well, they're confused and they have memory loss." "Okay, so what do they want to do?" "They want to go home. They all want to go home, all right? They have this experience that they're in the wrong place, that they don't belong here, that they need to go home. They get sad, angry, and depressed about it, right?" So when she starts to share that story with a family member, it's an instant connection, instant relation with the family member, right? She can say, "Yes, Miss Jones, I really understand what your mom is going through because when I came to America, I felt just like she does. Sad, confused, depressed. I felt like I didn't belong here. So as a result of that experience, I've become exceedingly good at understanding these folks and working with them in a way that's really effective to calm and quell their anxiety and preventing them from leaving the house." Right? Extremely powerful. That's the kind of personal story you want to share. I can give you many examples, but for the sake of moving on here, let's go forward. So, in summary, sharing your personal story helps your prospective customer relate to you in a much more personal way. Sometimes, if you're connected to a charity, maybe, or you participate in some function from your association, maybe, for example, if you donate some of your profits to the Cancer Research Institute or to some Alzheimer's research, right? That can give your family members something bigger than just you and them and their family member to relate to. It could be a very meaningful way to say, "Hey, I want to do business with you because I support your cause." There is a particular brand of health food snacks that I like to eat, and they're these grain bars, and I call it bird food, but anyway, it's very good for you, and I like to buy it. So what these guys are doing is every time you buy a bar, they donate one meal to a hungry child in Africa. So for every bar that I purchase, I'm essentially feeding a hungry kid in Africa somewhere. Well, that's an extremely compelling, altruistic reason. See, we all want to make a difference in the world. So if you have something like that in your business, make sure you share it, and that's going to make a difference. It also really helps you build stronger connection with them. See, you have to remember that in our economy currently, we most like doing business with people that we know, that we like, and that we trust. So when you share your story, it lets people understand why you're in this business, if you do it right, And it also helps them build a much stronger personal connection where they start to feel like they know you a little bit better. See, otherwise, you're just a stranger, just like everybody else is. So sharing the relevant part of your personal story is a very, very powerful tool to help you create a stronger connection and to help you stand out from your competition. Let's move on to number 2, and that is your specialty, or to specialize. See, people want to know that you're competent with their issue and challenge, right? Let's just pretend you have someone who's got heart trouble. Okay, would they rather see their generalist, or would they rather see a cardiologist, someone who specializes in their exact problem? Right? If you have allergies, would you want to see somebody who specializes in allergy, or would you just see your general doctors? And so most people, they want to know that you're specialized in their issue. So if you're dealing with a prospective client whose parents has Alzheimer's disease, and you specialize in Alzheimer's dementia care, immediately you're going to stand out as a better fit. The other thing that helps with your specialty is, for example, companionship is very important. For a long time, I specialized in residents who did not have dementia and were cognitively able and mentally alert. So I became known as the home, probably within a 10-mile radius, where you wanted to come if your mom or dad was alert and oriented and wanted some level of companionship. Now, I can already hear many providers out there. This is very common and also very counterintuitive. The fear is this: if I specialize and I only take care of, let's say, people who are diabetic, then I'm not going to have enough business because it's going to cut everyone else out of the equation as far as prospective clients. I know it's a very easy way to think that, but the reality is actually the opposite. If you specialized, let's say, in diabetes care, for example, I can bet you that if you put the word out in the right way, pretty soon everyone who has got diabetes is going to start calling. And you're going to become a rock star in diabetes care. That's exactly what happens. You won't have less business. You will have more business, because when you specialize, everyone who's got that need wants a specialist, and that will be you. Okay? Now, you can specialize in all kinds of things. I already gave you an example, maybe dementia care. You might specialize in rehab care, so people who are bedbound and have some hopes of getting back on their feet. You might specialize in people that are alert and oriented. You may specialize in people who just have dementia. You may specialize in Parkinson's, right? Now, let's just say you pick one of these specialties. Does that mean you can only have people with dementia? You can only have people with diabetes? You can only have people with Parkinson's disease? No. But you can still specialize in that and make that known. And that will attract those folks to you a little bit more like if you were a magnet to them, okay? Very, very powerful. Here is the other thing, and this is, I'm going to go very quickly over this, but there is what I call the social positioning pyramid. And that is basically sort of the hierarchy of how our society works. And what you have at the bottom is the generalist. Now, that's almost everyone. It's very common. There is lots and lots and lots of choice. Remember earlier, I talked to you about the different adult family homes offering the same features and the same services. You could call that generalist. Then you have a specialist, right? So if you do memory care only, now you start to specialize. You're kind of positioned higher up in that social positioning pyramid. That also commands more money. Then you have what's called authority positioning. Now, these are people who have academic credentials, maybe authors, respected opinion, people that do research, etc., etc., etc. Again, that's more money. Now you're an authority in the subject. Then you have celebrity. These are recognized names. Finally, at the top of the pyramid, you have authority celebrity. Okay, I just put there Dr. Oz because that's an easy way to see what I mean there. Someone who is highly specialized and highly credentialed in his field. It is also a big celebrity by being on TV all the time. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be like that. What I'm saying is, within your own niche, within your own marketplace, you can rise above higher on the social positioning pyramid, and that will make you more desirable and command more money. The higher you can rise there, the better you will do. Okay, so when we talk about specializing, you're moving up on that scale and you will command more money and you will separate yourself out from your competition. Very, very important. Again, this is just a brief overview. I just wanted you to get the idea of what specializing helps you do. Let's move on to number 3. Speak of benefits, not just features. You have to realize that people like to buy results and benefits, not just features. Again, this is a really, we can talk about features, benefits, and the power of that all day long. In my class, we talk about, my marketing class, we talk about it quite a bit further, but my intention right now is to give you a brief overview, an understanding, or at least a reminder and a refresher of the difference between features, advantages, and benefits so that you can start to refine your understanding of it and use it to your advantage. Now, here's the challenge. Features do not explain why it's important to the buyer or what it does for him. People don't necessarily connect the dot between, let's say, a lip-free shower stall and how it's going to help them. Yeah, they get the idea, it's easier to get in and out, but so what, okay? Do you think other providers also have lip-free shower stalls? Yes, they do. So again, how does that make you different, right? I mean, we're talking in ways, different in meaningful ways, in ways that are important to your prospective clients, in ways that really make you stand out in their mind. That's what we're talking about, okay? Not just that, you know, your shower's got brown tile and the other one's got red tile. Then you have benefits. Now, the benefits, they really answer your prospects' key questions, which oftentimes they don't even know they have, and or if they do, it's kind of unspoken. The first one is WIIFM. It's everybody's favorite radio station. What's in it for me? Right? People ask that. Again, sometimes they ask themselves unconsciously. They don't necessarily know. But when you put your finger on it, they will know. It will go off in their mind like a light bulb, and they're going to say, yes, that's what I was looking for. That's important to me, right? Why should I care? See, we all ask those questions. So what's the difference? So let me give you some examples here. So the feature, basically, when we talk about a feature, we talk about the actual item or service, right? So, you know, medication assistance, a lip-free shower stall, 3 meals a day, etc., etc. Now, what's the advantage? The advantage is what that feature does. So in the example of an air conditioning, the air conditioning helps you stay cool. Okay, that's good. Well, what's the benefit of staying cool? The way you can answer that question is you can say what this means to you is, and then fill in the blank. What this means to you in terms of the results and the outcome that the feature offers. So if the air conditioning takes 20 minutes to get your car cold, well, you're going to get really sweaty inside that car before the air conditioning starts to work. But if the air conditioning has this special feature on it that makes it get cool in 35 seconds, well, you're not going to get to the part where you're sweaty and getting your white shirt all dirty, right? So that's going to save you money. It's going to make you comfortable a whole lot faster. It's going to save you money in dry cleaning. That might be an example there. Let me give you more example. Features. This iPod has got 8 gigabyte. Now I know I use Apple a lot because they do a lot of things right, and it's a really easy way to understand what we're talking about. So that's why I use it. Now they'll say maybe this iPod has got an 8 gigabyte hard drive. Okay, well that's fine, but so what? We do medication assistance. Okay, that's fine. Well, does everybody else does. Now, what are the advantages of those? Well, for one thing, the 8 gigabyte hard drive in your iPod lets you carry 1,000 songs in your pocket. And with the medication assistant, for example, will help you to take the medications as prescribed, even if you don't remember to do that. Well, that's great, because if mom is confused, then there you have it. But what are the real benefits of that? Well, the reason I got my iPod was because you can listen to your entire music collection anytime, anywhere. I mean, I honestly got tired of dragging my entire case of CDs everywhere I wanted. I mean, obviously a big music lover, so that was important to me. But that was the ultimate benefit, right? I get to listen to my music anytime, anywhere. Now, the real benefit of medication assistance is that you can ensure that the resident takes the right medication at the right time so that you get the safest and maximum benefit from medical treatment and hopefully avoid unpleasant or potentially dangerous side effects. And we are very good at it, right? So now that benefit gets more personal. It's right. You want mom and dad to get the best treatment, the best benefit from their medication, and you don't want them to end up in the emergency room because they got the wrong medicine or they're having side effects. That's the ultimate benefit of your helping them. Here's another one. It's very important to try and push emotional buttons. That's why you want to dig down to what the feature means to the client, not just what it does. So for example, you're an RN and you operate your own home, or you have a home doctor coming to your house. Okay, well, what's the advantage of that? The advantage is that you have a trained professional that can pick up issues fairly early and determine possible causes and or get treatment started right away. Well, that's a nice advantage. But you still can take it one step further and ask yourself, so what? What's the real benefit of that? What's the emotional hot button that might really trigger someone to say, oh yeah, that's important? Well, in my view, for this example, it would be something like this. You don't have to drag your 93-year-old mom to the emergency room or to the doctor's office in a cold winter day and have them wait in a long line. Okay? That's why this is good. That's why being an RN in your home is great. That's why our services with the home doctor is so important to you, so you can avoid this long, unpleasant, uncomfortable trip to the doctor's office. And once you start to talk about the benefits that your features offer, you're going to be touching people on a deeper and more emotional level, and it will help you stand out from your competition. And remember, we have well-established evidence that show that human beings make decisions emotionally first and then rationalize them with their brain by thinking. So you want to give people that emotional charge, and then you want to explain to appeal to the rational mind, with further conversation if necessary. But if you can get people to feel, your chances of them to take action is going to be much greater. One of my greatest mentors, Jim Sorensen, always says, if I give you information, I will get you to ponder change. But if I get you to feel, you will be moved to change. So that's the reason why you want to get down to the benefits. Try to get in touch with the emotional hot buttons. Let's move on. Number 4, your programs, methods, and systems. That is my secret weapon, if you will, to really help me stand out from the competition. Let me give you my definition of what this is. It's basically a structured way to offer your specialized services that has high value in the eyes of your prospects. Okay? Now, let me give you some example. Let's go back to medication assistant, just because we've used it so much so far. Versus, we have a 7-step medication safety protocol. It keeps you safe, maximizes your treatment effectiveness, minimizes unpleasant or dangerous side effects, and helps you monitor your results, medication results for medical treatment. Now put yourself in the shoes of your prospective clients who's here visiting. What's going to be most valuable to them? Medication assistance, which everyone around does, or your 7-step medication safety protocol, which they've never seen or heard of before. Okay? You see, this is high value. This is way more effective in helping you stand out from your competition. Literally nobody does this. I mean, I know it because I teach. I have helped hundreds of people come through my class, and people are just blown away by learning this stuff and the power that it has. We do exercises. Okay, well, do you know any provider who does not do exercise? You might say yes, that's a rhetorical question. Sorry for that. But essentially, it's a legal requirement. We all have to do exercises, okay? So what? What if you have an active life program, right? That has all kinds of things you do within that program that are going to be a great match for the potential client. Now, that's a lot more valuable. That's unique, special, different. That commands more money. Much higher perceived value. It also showcases your skills and your expertise level, right? It increases your credibility because now you're not just doing exercises like everybody else does. See, you put together a program like that with a certain, using a certain process. You've put some thought into it, so your credibility, your professionalism goes up, and ultimately, most importantly, your trust level goes up because now you've got some structured systems in place, not just, we'll do exercise maybe sometimes when we feel like it, right? So, and as I said earlier, maybe you'll remember that in today's economy, we most like doing business with people that we know, that we like, and that we trust. That's why the personal power is extremely important. And that's why having programs like this in your business can dramatically increase your credibility, expertise, skill level, level of specialization, and ultimately the trust. Now, I have a dozen programs in my home that I have in place, and I mix and match them when I tour to meet and the specific needs and challenges that people are facing, so that when they hear the solution, the specific solution we have for their specific problems, they pretty much instantly raise their hand and say, okay, I'm in. Can I give you a check? Can I give you a deposit right now? Can you go see my mom? What's it take to move into your home? I get that kind of response all the time. Okay? And I mean, again, it's not to brag, but just to show you what's possible. My conversion rate, which is how many people decide they want to move in versus when they come visit, is 7 out of 10. So 7 people out of 10 people pick my home. And that's a number that's been increasing over the years, but it's a pretty darn high number compared to most providers. I know an RN who have been known for years, who just closed his home because he had 3 openings and could not get them filled. I was also talking with another referral agent who took a family to 5 different homes, and no one stands out. No one understands how to speak about their strengths. And so it makes it very difficult for the prospective customers to choose you. Now, back to the program creation blueprint. That is something that I teach in the Adult Family Home Marketing Roadmap class. It's a whole module that I go through, that I teach you basically my blueprint and framework for creating as many programs as you want. You can use any specialty you're already doing or whatever, and I show you exactly how to create these programs from the ground up so that they're really valuable, highly appealing to the eyes of your prospects, and makes it so that they are going to be more than happy to open up their wallet and say, hey, I want in. Okay? So, as promised, let me go over and give you an exercise to help you discover your special sauce. I know it's very difficult for people to look at themselves. I mean, all of us, myself included, it's very difficult for us as human beings in general to look at ourselves objectively and say, oh yeah, that's what I'm really good at. Sometimes it takes somebody to help you from the outside, you need to engage yourself in a process of self-discovery in a workshop style. That's why my workshop is 8 hours long, and it's in a workshop style. Is because you're immersed in doing these exercises and activities, and it's designed to get your brain to go, aha, I get it, right? These aha moments is what we're going for here. So let me give you a couple tips. To help you discover your business strength, ask your current customers these 2 questions. What made you decide to move in with us? See? Very likely they went to see other places, but they picked you. And there is a reason why they picked you. If you get to know and understand this reason, it's going to be probably very revealing to you. Number two, what do you like most about living here? That's going to inform what is it that people really like about being in your home, so that you can focus on increasing and improving that and sharing it with new prospective customers. Here is what people like about living here. This is obviously something we do well. Right, so two very powerful questions. And then here, let me give you a question to help you discover your personal strengths. One of the easy way to do it is to ask your spouse and 3 of your closest friends to tell you what they see as your top 3 strengths, skills, or qualities. And just simply ask them. Just tell them you're doing an exercise to help you improve your business and grow your business, and that you would like them to share with you what they see your strengths are, or at least your top. Just make sure you say top 3 strengths. That's better, because that way it helps you focus on your greatest, biggest strengths. Okay? Go ahead and ask those questions. I am nearly certain that you're going to learn something interesting about yourself, and it's going to help you incorporate and integrate what makes you special, unique, and different than everybody else, all of which you can use to help yourself stand out from the crowd, differentiate yourself. So here you have it. 4 ways to help differentiate yourself and stand out from your competition. I hope this has been helpful to you. It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed making this video for you. If you like this, you are going to love the Adult Family Home Marketing Roadmap. This is the tip of the iceberg. This information here about standing out is really just one section of 6 modules. So there is a lot more like this, and that can help you no matter where you are in your adult family home business in terms of marketing and growing your business. This is going to help move the needle and take you to the next level, whether you're a beginner or whether you're an advanced provider who's been around for a long time. You may have questions or comments. Please feel free to leave them below. I read all my comments personally, and I will take the time to respond to your question or to your comment.